Did you know that you no longer need a camera, a microphone, or even to put yourself out there to become an influencer? Nowadays, with artificial intelligence, we can create completely realistic influencers and build a business out of it thanks to social media. This is a trend that's becoming more and more popular, and we're already seeing many influencers with huge followings who are even collaborating with brands, and they don't even exist. And what's more, these influencers are always perfect and working for you 24/7. That's why today I'm bringing you a step-by-step tutorial where I'm going to show you a new artificial intelligence that's 100% focused on creating this type of influencer. This is the AI in question. It's called apob.ai, and you'll find the link down below in the description. Once inside, you'll see that it's a very easy to use artificial intelligence. At the top, we have the name, let's say the settings, all of that. We also have the option to upgrade the subscription, the available credits, which are what we'll use to create influencers. And here on the left, we'll find the entire menu, the profile history, and the section to create the influencer. So as you can see, there are a few options. It's very easy to use. And on the home page, let's say, when we first enter, the first thing we see are the different models, the different influencers created by the community itself, which is very interesting, right? The first thing that appears is create your own portrait model. All right, so let's create our model. First, this tab, this screen will open where we'll have to create our model, okay? In this case, maybe we already have the images in question and want to upload them directly to this AI, but if we want to create our images from scratch, instead of clicking upload images, we're going to click this button here, iInfluencer Generator. This way, we'll be able to use APO's artificial intelligence to create our reference image, okay? In this case, we're going to click here, all right? And here we're going to, let's say, first of all, select the gender, okay? Let's choose woman. We can choose the age, all right? I mean, I don't know, 25 is fine. Here we could choose the country. I'm going to put Spain. We're going to create a regular everyday Spanish girl. Let's see, Estonian, Spain, in English, Spanish. There we have it. All right, we're going to make the eyes a vibrant green color. The hairstyle as well will be adjusted accordingly. Remember that even though this tool isn't in Spanish, if we click translate to Spanish with Google, we'll be able to translate it, okay? Here, basically, we're going to have to select the type of hair that we want. Well, let's see. Poof. Honestly, I don't really know. I've selected curly, which is like wavy. Here we're going to select the hair, and I'm going to choose blonde and face shape, which would be like the type of face, so to speak. So I'm going to select this one, for example, okay? So once we have it, we're going to click generate. This is the result it gave us, okay? If we like it, we could stick with this image, or we can try out some other options. I'm going to try a few more to see what other results it can offer us. All right, here I've created a few more images to get a better idea of the results it can give us. Here, this one didn't quite convince me because of the type of eyes. So I've been trying out some other examples to try to get something more realistic. Here I managed to get a very realistic looking girl who also looks very Spanish, okay? I mean, she's very much from here. This one too. And then I made this one, which I think is a pretty common profile. And on top of that, the result is very realistic. So basically, once we've chosen and already have the one we like, so to speak, we simply select this image as a reference, okay? By clicking here on this button. And here we're going to enter a name and a description. I'm going to name her Sarah, for example, just to give her a name as well. And here we're going to click on create the model's image. And now is where the fun begins. Here, for example, in this case, in this box is where we're going to enter the prompt to create more images, okay? In this case, I've just put in a random prompt. So here, we're going to first choose the art style, and I'm going to select realistic, okay? We can also, let's say, the settings, so to speak, for example, in a swimming pool, at an airport, at a gym, okay? We can choose different locations. For example, I'm going to select swimming pool, and then we can choose the appearance, whether it's old, young, middle-aged, okay? In this case, let's say I don't really care. And here in the clothing, so to speak, we can choose the type of clothing, right? Let's see. Let's check. Hiking. Well, actually, we've set it to the pool, right? Let's set it to swimming, swimwear, or hot summer. So it's like with clothes, right? And then we can set the weather. Well, here I've set it to sunset. Let's go with sunset, okay? And basically, that's it. So that being said, we can select the quantity, we can select the image ratio, and we can select the quality. In this case, I'm going to keep it on ultra. And once we've chosen this, we're going to click generate. All right. And here we have the first result, as you can see, with the same hairstyle, the same face. But in this case, it simply placed her in the pool with clothes on. Let's try a few more things, because from here we could download the image, change the quality. We could also generate a video, make the avatar talk, change the clothes, okay? We can do a ton of things. First of all, let's do a few more examples, and I'm going to start showing you how to edit all these photos. All right, here we have some of the results. As we can see, some of the results are honestly very good. Here we have, for example, our model in the middle of a city. Here on the beach, the result didn't turn out as well. But for example, these nighttime shots turned out spectacular. Very, very, very realistic, as if she were a real model here. Here we also have some in the city with more formal clothing, so to speak, okay? Also, quite positive results. Here, for example, at the airport with casual clothes and so on. Really great results in this case, as we can see. Here as well, in the streets of New York with more casual clothing, and at the beach, the results are really high quality, right? I mean, just look at how well the skin is done. Here we also have some examples, more summary, as if on vacation. Also very good at maintaining the facial features, the hairstyle, right? As we mentioned, the colors are really great, right? These photos are really good. Here as well at the pool, and here we have some examples. For example, at the gym. Look how cool this is, man. I mean, what amazing photos we're getting here, and this is just the first one we've done. So as you can see, we're already starting to get some images that could be useful for us in this case. And well, basically now I want to show you the tools we can use with these images, okay? Let's select, for example, let's see which one looks best. Well, this one is pretty cool. Let's select this one, for example, okay? From here, as I mentioned, we could download the image itself, okay? By clicking this button. We could change, let's say, the quality of the video. We can generate the video. We can make it talk, okay? We can change the clothes. We also have a chat to ask it, hey, make these changes, do this or that, okay? Different things, and let's go to the photo that showed up there. There we are, and then we have the remix, detail, and share sections, okay? Which will be for sharing. All right, in this case, let's run some tests. For example, let's go to edit clothing. Let's select here. And what's really interesting about this, because pay attention, this is spectacular for collaborating with brands, is that we could upload an image if we want to upload an image that we want. Let's imagine we're collaborating with a clothing brand and we want to add their clothes. Well, here we could change it. And here we have some examples of clothing items that are shown here to see how this example would look, right? So for example, I'm going to select this one and let's click generate. Now let's see how it generates. We wait for it to process and then we'll see the result. Here we already have the image with the clothing item we added. Therefore, as you've seen, this works really well for collaborations, for a lot of things, to further personalize our influencer, and it really allows us to do so much. This is a very, very useful feature. And another feature that's really interesting is the ability to create videos using these very images. For example, let's select this image at the gym, and to create a video, we simply click here where it says generate video. We click and this pops up. The first thing we have to select is the quality. We can choose high, best, or ultra. In this case, I'm going to choose ultra to see the best result. We can select the duration of the video. It can last 5 seconds or 10 seconds. Let's set it to 5 seconds because that's enough. And here we'll enter the description of what we want to happen. Also, we can select the camera movement here on the right, okay? Actually, I'm covering it a little bit, okay? But anyway, I can see it here now, okay? The different camera movements like zooming out, zooming in, etc. Okay, I'm going to select here and click generate. Well, in this case, the video won't be anything special because I haven't entered any description. But here you could specify, for example, that the character is walking, starts running, or anything like that. This is what you can put here. Okay, but here I just want to do a quick demo to show you how the video movement works and how realistic it looks. And here you have the result. Honestly, it's pretty fast. We can see how the camera zooms in this case on the model, and how coherent it is, especially in terms of lighting and the background. The camera movement really looks very realistic, and here we already have an animated video. Let's do another test with a different video, because honestly, the result has surprised me with how good it is. Facts are facts. Pay attention to the other example I made. In this case, I set the camera movement to be circular, to go around the model, and in this case, she's dancing. And as you can see, the result is actually very good. Because with this type of shot, sometimes AI creates a lot of problems and it doesn't look realistic, but in this case, it looks super realistic. What I really liked and found super striking is that you can even see the shadow, as if someone is actually filming. I mean, it's honestly really, really impressive. The result is extremely positive, as you can see, and we can do this with countless looks, countless settings, countless outfits, countless. Once we have the same model, we can start creating tons of content to publish and then upload it to social media, on Instagram, on TikTok, add music. I mean, it's amazing. It's truly amazing what we can do with this guide because it really allows us to do so many things. Another thing we can do with this artificial intelligence is add voices, which is also very interesting and very useful in this case, okay? In the section where we are with the influencer, here we have all the functions, all the tools, right? We've seen video generation, the talking avatar, lip sync, image to video, text to video, and the video face swap, which is for changing the face, right? Camera movement, and here all the image functions, which are actually quite interesting. The first thing we're going to do in the talking avatar option is select, let's say, one of the files we have of our model, okay? There isn't any realistic one that could be used for talking, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's just pick this one to show you the example. We have the photo selected, and here we're going to click on generate audio, okay? We can upload it or generate audio. Maybe we already have the audio and just want to upload it, so we would put it here. But if we don't have the audio, we're going to click on generate audio. And here the first thing we'll need to do is select the model's voice, okay? We have different voices that we can use, all right? In fact, we have quite a few voices. We can filter by gender. Let's select female. We can also choose the age and the language because if we're going to create content in Spanish, we want it to be in Spanish. So let's select Spanish, and here we'll see the voices available in Spanish. I'm going to select one called Sarah, so let's choose Sarah, all right? So in this case, what we need to do is simply enter the script here, meaning the text. Let's write, "Hi, my name is Sarah, and what's your name?" I don't know, nothing else comes to mind. And what's your name? All right. And now let's click generate with the selected voice, okay? And now here, we just wait. And as you can see, it tells us that the audio is already being generated. It's really fast, so we can already play it. Let's see. I'm going to turn up the volume so you can hear it well, and let's listen to the result.
Hi, my name is Sarah. And what's your name?
Perfect. Very realistic. So let's select it. Let's say we want this audio. We have it here. And now we're going to click generate, okay? Let's click generate. Okay, it tells us that the audio has to be at least 5 seconds long and we haven't made it long enough. So let's choose another text. Let's write, "Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Barcelona. Subscribe to Paul Coromina's channel." Let's see, does this reach 5 seconds? Maybe it does. Let's try it. Okay, let's select here. Let's see if it lets us now. There we go, the video is already being generated. I've already created the video and downloaded it to my computer. So let's see the result.
Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm from Barcelona. Subscribe to Paul Coromina's channel.
As you can see, it's really good because while she's talking, it actually syncs the lips, syncs the movement of the face, and it really looks quite realistic.
My name is Sarah. I'm from Barcelona. Subscribe to Paul Coromina's channel. Hi, my name is...
It's pretty good, huh? I liked it. It's pretty cool. Next, we have the lip sync function, which might seem similar to the talking avatar, but it's different. With talking avatar, what we do is upload an image, add the audio, and from there we create the video. But in the case of lip sync, you already have the video. What you do is upload a video that's already been recorded. For example, in this case, you have this model moving or posing. And then with the recorded video, that's where you add an external audio. What the AI does is synchronize the lips and, let's say, the character with that audio. This is ideal when you want to have more control over the audio, or simply if you already have a generated clip and want to add the voice without having to regenerate the entire video. Or also, a very interesting feature is that, of course, it can be used for dubbing into other languages, since with a video where someone is speaking in Spanish, for example, we could make them speak in English. In fact, if we select the video, for example, the one where someone is speaking, and click on generate audio, here I've entered some text in English and chosen a different voice, okay? The voice of Amelia, which is in English, and now we're going to click generate. Now we have that audio generated, and we're going to click on select this audio as a reference audio. And now let's go here and click generate again. And here we have the result of the video with the voice in English. Let's take a look.
Hi, I'm Sarah, your virtual influencer. How are you?
It's amazing because, as I mentioned, it tries to maintain the lip sync as much as possible so that it looks as realistic as possible. So, as I said, this can be useful, for example, for things like translating your own content into other languages. So the result is very good and we can use it for many things. One thing I really like about this artificial intelligence is the chat to edit feature, which is, I showed it a little earlier, but let's do an example so you can see how it works. If we select this photo and click on chat to edit, this opens up, okay? Here we are in this image function, and here we can basically ask it to make certain changes to the image to, well, personalize it a bit more, or we even have the optional feature to add something to the image that we want to include or things like that. For example, I'm going to ask it to change the model's clothes in this case and make them red. So let's click generate. And here we have the result. As you can see, it's a very quick result and it actually looks very realistic. So, as you can see, this kind of feature is very useful because we can customize the images if they didn't turn out exactly as we wanted, but there are parts of the image we like. We can personalize it however we want and ask it for anything. So, these are mainly the things we can do with this artificial intelligence. Honestly, the results are very good, and if we're now going to talk about money to find out how much this AI costs, let's click the upgrade button here and check out the prices. You can see here we can pay monthly, but if we pay annually, we get a 50% discount, which is crazy because the micro plan ends up costing just $6, which is practically nothing. And here, depending on the number of credits you need per month, based on the amount of content you require, you'll have to pay more or less. It's that simple with a few extra features. But as I said, if you want to try out this tool, you can try it completely free. I hope you enjoyed today's video.